How's it going? Welcome back to another great video. Today we are going to take a look at Valheim in 2023, and I'm going to give you my updated Valheim 2023 review. I'm very excited for this one because this game is goddamn amazing, and it was amazing on release and it's even more amazing today. So let's take a look. I will be joined by a special guest today as well, Doppelrack, and we're going to discuss the game so you can hear basically two different opinions, and I hope you like that format. If you do, just say in the comments down below if you want Doppelrack to return in future videos, and show him some love. I would appreciate it.
What's up?
And if you do find yourself enjoying this Valheim 2023 review, make sure that you do subscribe because it would mean so much to me. We are getting close to 10k. I'm passionate about this community. I work hard for you guys to give you great quality content that I care about. If you like deep philosophical analysis type videos, I've also got you covered. Video essays on, games that I truly care about, stuff like that, then you've come to the right place. So become a wise boy, don't be left behind with the dum-dums, okay? Subscribe right now. It takes 2 seconds, that's all I ask. So Valheim was a sleeper hit for quite a while, but then it basically blew up and became one of the most successful indie games for a very long time. And especially in the period of like modern day open world burnout. The modern day gaming industry was basically a complete joke not that long ago, and it still isn't great today, but it is getting better. But we were just getting broken releases and, companies putting out absolute trash, unfinished, basically broken on release, and basically just complete lies, okay? It was all around marketing and not actual good gameplay. That was the current state of games, and we still get that pretty much nowadays, but it is getting a little bit better. I talked about before why I think games have kind of fell off, and the kind of corporate greed and viewing it more as a way just about generating money instead of it being about actual creative passion and innovative ideas. But Valheim said no to that modern day tradition, okay? What I love about Valheim is it's a completely open sandbox in which you create your adventure, okay? You create your stories. It's not so much a, game where you are sucked into it because of, cinematic storytelling, cutscenes every 2 seconds, quick time events. No, this is a proper game, okay? And I think that's why people fell in love with it and why it was so successful. If you look at games like Minecraft, for example, the open-ended sandbox experience is for a lot of people what makes that game so special, because you basically are in control. You actually choose your actions, okay? It doesn't feel like the game is playing you, but actually you are actually playing the game, which is what a game should be about. And Valheim creates the perfect balance of relaxation, atmosphere, and art style with its kind of retro PS1 feel, and adventure and going into the unknown, okay? So many people might ask, is Valheim still worth it in 2023? Is Valheim worth it in 2023? That's what I hope to answer today with Doppelrack. But the short answer is, I believe it is, because they've still continuously updated this game, not as much as I would have liked, but they have added new features in 2023, which was completely different compared to how it was on launch. So now we actually have new biomes, like the Mistlands, and new enemies, new bosses. Also, the thing that Valheim is so good at, it's not just the aesthetic, which is what really draws me in, and the way that it doesn't care about trying to be hyper-realistic, photorealistic graphics. It's just trying to create a world that feels immersive, that you can get lost in, You can choose what you want to do in this game. But over time, they have added new content to the game. So, like I said, the new biome, which holds new materials, which then you can basically make new weapons and new armor and stuff like that, new cosmetics. And just over time, they have, basically patched the game so it works. Now it's on Game Pass, so you can do crossplay with your buddies and stuff like that, which is super fun. And I think the big thing that really changed this game for a lot of people as well was the fact that basically you can customize the world now. You have way more customization options, with how much resources get dropped, how dangerous you want the enemies in Valheim and stuff like that. They've basically just made it more detailed over time by adding new features and fixes into the game. Valheim is proof that graphics do not matter in video games. What matters is art style, vibe, and player agency, and that's something that, you know, games have just forgotten about in recent years, it seems, is player agency, because Valheim, that's the whole game, okay, is that you create your own adventure. And I know I've said that many times before, but I just think it's important to remember that, because a lot of games nowadays don't care about your adventure. Even, you know, supposedly massive RPGs, they are still fixed with, you know, like what you can do and what you can't do, but open sandboxes like this is where creativity truly blossoms, and I think that's why Valheim saw massive success. Also, it had a very unique progression path where basically you go through human evolution, which I'll talk more about later with Doppelrack, which I find super interesting. You know, how you gather materials, having actual physics in the game, these different, you know, elemental effects, stuff like that. Basic stuff, but this matters in gaming, and a lot of games just forget about that. I think that's also why Zelda Breath of the Wild and the sequel did so well, because, you know, making a game feel grounded and fun at the same time is very important in creating, you know, that immersive feeling. So the biggest thing that's changed in Valheim in 2023, I would say, is the variation of, you know, customization, your character, the weapons that you use, the weapons that you do craft, the fact that you can actually, you know, even have livestock to some degree now, quality of life improvements that can make this game feel like a true Zen experience for relaxation and exploration or crafting, or super punishing and super immersive and realistic. You can play this game pretty much how you want to now in 2023, and I think that's the big change of Valheim in 2023. Modern day games treat gamers like they're handicapped and that they only know how to press X to proceed. Interact with this object 5 times and you won't have crippling depression. Having something that can replicate life in a way where you can live out your own slice of life, you can take it easy, you can choose to be, you know, a wild adventurer, or you can just build up your home base. Valheim as an experience gives you time to reflect and gives you that perfect balance of, you know, the brutal challenges and then the kind of relaxation and the peaceful vibe of, you know, that you're creating something, that you're building something up. And I think that's very core to, you know, what it is to be human. And that's why, you know, like crafting and building up a base and, you know, looking for resources, gathering food, that's all very innately in our human biology, and Valheim just does a perfect job of capturing that without any of the bullshit gamifying mechanics that modern day games would put into it, and I think that's why Valheim at its key point is so successful. So that is my Valheim 2023 review. Now let's get over to the conversation with Doppelrack and see what he has to say, and you can hear our different opinions on the game. Please let me know your opinions on the game and what you think has most changed, and we will also be discussing that. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you at the end of the video. Now Doppelrack here is I would say a professional Valheim player, or at least he's
What?
Have you cleared the game 100% or?
I don't even think there is like a 100% kind of deal with that game.
I thought like if you clear all the bosses, like that's pretty much it, isn't it? Or maybe not?
Yeah, like back when I played it, when you defeated the final boss, when you defeat the guy in the plains, he just gives you a placeholder item. Like the item literally says, "This is a placeholder item."
Oh right, because they haven't finished.
They hadn't finished the progression.
Yeah.
Now I think there's 2 or 3 more zones since like
That's cool.
the game first went into early access.
The progression system is almost like it kind of reflects like human history to some degree. Obviously it's not like realistic in that sense, but it does kind of follow like, you know, going from like the Bronze Age to, you know, like the Iron Age and stuff like that, which I think is quite interesting because like most survival, I guess you can't. Is it a survival game, would you say, or more like a just crafting, exploration, sandbox experience? I guess
Definitely. Yeah, you know, it has a nice balance because you can build these impressive structures. It's kind of like Minecraft. Like you build impressive structures, or you can go hunt dragons and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So it has that real nice balance to it between survival and creative.
I think one of the things I really like about it is like it's kind of very zen. It does remind me, a lot of like something like Minecraft or something, because it is most of the time it's very peaceful, but it can also be like very tense, like when you're like battling a troll and you're not ready for it or something like that. Like
Or when those raids happen on your home base.
yeah, exactly, yeah. From what Doppelrack said about early access and like how it's changed with all the updates, because they have added new biomes to the game, which should be pretty interesting for long-time fans of the game. But also like the fact that they added like smaller touches, like you said before, like when you explore the ocean, it's kind of there wasn't much to see, but now they've actually added like fish and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that's what we noticed when we played it. There were fish
yeah,
about and shit.
yeah, it adds more like it makes it feel more alive, I guess. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, before there was only those you'd come across those islands on very rare occasions, the ones that had the barnacles.
Yeah.
And maybe on occasion a sea serpent would attack you.
Is there like
But now we actually see fish.
So Doppelrack, can you give me a couple of reasons why you enjoy Valheim? Like what made you like play it a lot like on release and then kind of put it down for a little bit and then now like pick it back up again?
Well, the phrase early access survival game doesn't have a very good reputation.
No.
I mean, sure, nowadays, like The Forest and, Valheim, those games have definitely taken off.
Yeah.
But then there were other games like, I remember one in particular, Stranded Deep.
Oh, yeah.
It was basically an archipelago game, or archipelago survival. You build rafts, you survive on an island, and you kill sharks. It was an interesting game, for sure. Back when I played it, at least. It's a wild card. Survival games are a wild card. And so Valheim was like a breath of fresh air, because most games, they try to be like super hyper-realistic, trying to give games like the best physics possible. Or the best looks possible with that photographic graphics.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever the term is.
Hyper-realistic, sweaty balls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Valheim looks like a game from back in the PS1 era.
I think that's why it did super well, because like it captured that sense of nostalgia that a lot of people were, kind of missing, because like modern games now are very hand-holdy, but Valheim just says like, you create your story. You go off and do whatever you want, like build whatever you want, and basically.
And it also has that progression system with like wood cutting, and like the different weapons you use have like a progression system in place. Hell, even running and jumping have a progression system.
Yeah, and it's nice. Like you unlock like recipes and like from actually interacting with the environment, so it feels much more organic instead of just like saying, like it gives you a list of things to do. You just like do it organically, and that's how you kind of progress. I think that's
pick up flint. You know how to make a flint axe.
Yeah.
Pick up a chunk of iron. You can all of a sudden smelt an iron axe.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were kind of, because Valheim sold like super well, because it was like kind of like a sleeper hit for like a tiny bit of time, but then it just like blew up like in popularity, and I think it's like a lot of people were just missing that sense of like openness that we don't really get anymore. So, yeah. And now Valheim in 2023, they have actually added, like I said, new stuff to do. I think there are like new enemy types as well that you can go out and find in the world. So, I wouldn't say like, because early access is always like very dubious, because like basically you're giving money to a company and you're not even gonna you're not even sure you're going to see the return on investment, because a lot of, games nowadays, especially early access games, they just kind of take your money and then, run with it, and you never actually get the finished product. And that's kind of the problem with live service games. But Valheim, you can tell like the developers actually care about their game, I would say. Does anything like change much in the late game compared to like early game? Obviously, it's more peaceful and everything in the early game.
Well, yeah. Like, the equipment you get really buffs you up, so... Like, enemies in the swamp, or hell, even the mountains don't even hurt you. But if you're caught out off guard in the plains, you can get fucked up.
Yeah. What do you actually think about the combat? Because obviously it's not like the greatest combat system in like a, open world exploration game, but it does the job.
It does, yeah. They added like a new kind of like a blocking stamina that's separate from your base stamina. I haven't had too much experience with that, but it's a pretty simple combat system. Block or parry, and then start wailing on them.
IGN would like to refer to Souls-like because there is actually a dodge roll, but it's...
there is, but
yeah.
I mean, the better way to play is probably the parry and whack. Maybe if you're a dagger user, you can roll and shit.
Yeah, that's one thing I feel
but
like...
I don't really play Valheim like that.
That's one thing I feel like it could have done slightly better at, is like... I don't want like a perk tree, because every modern day game like has to have like a perk tree now, and it's all like very just formulaic and like copy and pasted. But like it would be cool if there was like more unique actual play styles. Like you have like so like if you're in a party of people or group, like you know what I mean. Like it was more like class based, I guess. Yes, yeah, I agree with your opinion. You're very very wise.
A lot of games, yeah, they are class-based, for sure. Valheim is like... It's kind of like Skyrim. You can be whatever you want if you put, like, the effort into it.
Yeah, that's true. I do like how you level up by doing, like, the actions. Like, if you're using a bow more, then you will be better with, like, bows and arrows and stuff like that, so...
Yeah, you'll use less stamina, or... Your arrows will do more damage or go farther or something like that. Yeah, there is an edge of the world, and you can fall off it.
What? God damn it!
Yep,
that's cool.
Yeah, I've been to there just for shits and giggles. I set sail on the open sea, and I fell off the edge of the world. Yeah, we're all living on a giant water lion turtle. Or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's deep in meditation.
I mean, the building is unique.
Yeah, because you do actually have to like structure it so it doesn't fall down, or like you gas yourself out with like smoke and stuff like that if you don't build like a chimney, right?
Yes. Yes, you have to like build a chimney so you don't turn yourself into your house into a smokehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's just those like little things that you have to pay attention to.
Yeah, I do like that. I think what really captures it is it's kind of the same thing, what made Minecraft popular. Like, even though Valheim has kind of dipped off a little bit, even with the updates now, like, it is just the, like, aesthetic and the soundtrack and, like, the kind of, like, chill nature to that experience, I think. So.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, so that is Valheim the... Fuck. Hang on. So
Valheim the fuck.
So that is Valheim 2023 review. So I do hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the presence of my co-host here, Doppelrack. Hopefully he will appear again in the future, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
Laters.
Alright.
Hi, this is Doppelrack from the future. Just know that past Doppelrack is a fucking retard when he's referring to this and that.
I have to acknowledge that I'm actually not a racist, and my old content doesn't represent me.
It's all stated in my apology video that I did.
Yeah.
The one where I was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
So I do hope you enjoyed that conversation with Doppelrack, and I do think they have added a lot in 2023, a lot more details, and just quality of life in general. and the fact that the new biomes that you can explore, the new bosses adds a new layer to the progression, and you know what you can do with that. I think they should be adding more biomes really, because that's what keeps the game fresh, or new random encounters. A random encounter system would be very good, I think, for Valheim. But at the end of the day, yes, Valheim in 2023 is definitely worth your time, and I do hope you enjoyed this Valheim 2023 review. I tried to basically talk about the updates without, you know, spoiling anything, because that's the whole point, is so you can experience it yourself. But just know that there is new stuff added, and it's now better than ever because you can play it cross-play, and basically anyone can have access to it now, and it's even on Game Pass, so keep that in mind. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Peace out.